But watch who protects them. This organization was created in the hometown of Kobe Bryant. There are no coincidences. Chadwick Boseman's name before it was changed hundreds of years ago was Bonesman. So it's not a surprise that he was chosen to do that hand-chest insignia, which represents and ties him to the Skulls and Bones organization. Anytime you see the Skulls and Bones, it means one with the dead. That's why it's on the flag of pirate ships. That's why in cartoons it's seen on poisonous elixirs. So either you're becoming one with the dead, black people, or you're a member of the Theosophical Society, white people. And y'all doing this movement on your own body and hollering out Wakanda forever, you don't even know what it's all about. Allow me to enlighten the term, okay? Wakanda is a combination of two Swahili words, wa meaning genetically altered, and kanda meaning replication. Wakanda is the name of a spirit in the Oduifa religion, the same religion Baal, Lucifer, and Molech, Black Lives Matter, practices. So repeating the Wakanda Forever mantra and insignia on your body is a curse, man. You don't even realize duplicating that motion. You are physically and psychologically tying your soul to that principality, that demonic force in the unseen realm of death. I just had an epiphany. I wonder if that's why I had such a terrible experience on the blackout day, because I was just following along with trends. But look, 9 families of the elite are designated a particular black sorority or fraternity within the Boule Society, which are the gatekeepers and caretakers of the elites. Check it. Rothschilds are protected by Alpha Phi Alpha. Oppenheimers are protected by Kappa Alpha Psi. Warburgers are protected by Omega Psi Phi. Rockefellers are protected by Phi Beta Sigma. John Jacob Astra bloodline are protected by Iota Phi Beta. Bilderbergs are protected by Alpha Kappa Alpha. Skeet Wheat. Habsburgs are protected by Delta Sigma Theta. The Sassoon family, who control the cocaine and the drug industry, are protected by Zeta Phi Beta. The Lee family, who was one of the bankrollers of this COVID crisis in consciousness, are protected by Sigma Gamma Rho. The history classes we sat through miseducated the black diaspora via these HBCUs, these historically black colleges and universities, which were developed by Khazarian Jews through Rockefeller money in 1904. They were established to keep black people in check and to create a network for easy tracking. These contracts with these little communities are synonymous with an ear tag to a cow. And y'all who are deeply rooted emotionally and financially in this conspiracy, those that had no idea to this information because of your parental programming, y'all may deny this, and it's understandable. Just be present and prayerful and know it's okay to change your mind upon receiving new information. This is how they use psychokinesis to create willing servitude from blacks by waving the little carrot in our faces, a fiat currency which commands our loyalty. And as a side note, exchanging fiat, you enter into an implied contract. If you are not free to be who you are, you're just a rich slave. But those who are wealthy have no one pulling on the strings of their time. So from this information here, in the 46 words in that Matthew scripture, we see the origins of the black secret societies. We see how psychokinesis affects those who have been indoctrinated the most. When you add 4 and 6, you get 10, which denominates to 1, which brings me back to Genesis chapter 1, which will lead to my conclusion. Genesis 1, it is written, and God said 10 times, and is where we see the 10 dimensions taking form. What's notable is and, spelled backwards, is DNA. These 10 dimensions represent the thought, language, dialect, and accent of the primordial creator. 4 are noble and 6 are ignoble. This brings me to the number 6. I was always confused about the book of Revelation. I didn't know what to make of those stories, and come to find out, it didn't make sense because of the missing books from the original version of the Bible that I couldn't read at the time because I didn't even know those books existed. Revelation 12:4 is the culmination of Genesis 6, Enoch 6, and Jude 6. From the fall of the cognition of Adam, the manipulation of the body from Lucifer's consequences continues to be seen in each human now having 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. 666 is the mark of the fall, but this vaccine is the mark of the beast. Speaking of beasts, remember how I mentioned how the root word of Gregorian, the calendar this consciousness goes by, is a Latin word meaning gargoyle. Well, have you ever considered why there's 666 gargoyles around New York City in 5 boroughs? Gorian also means griffin, which is a half man, half woman, half lion, which is the symbol of the Boule Society of which all black celebrities are a part. May I refer you to LeBron's chess? May I also incorporate here his little ritual he carries out before each game? Question everything. What those sororities don't tell you is that you're pledging your life to their dogma or creed, of which their symbol is its mascot. Be careful who you contract with, and be careful who you shake hands with, because you could be ensnaring your soul to one of these snakes and don't even know it. Many of these celebrated entities will be coming back to this earth to learn more lessons because they contracted their soul to the enemy for money and clout. Your decisions have eternal consequences. This Gregorian calendar is a transhumanistic, protracted period of time that began in 1582 AD, about 40 years after the Jesuit secret society out of Paris, France, was created. The same secret society who protects the Vatican and its banking system. The same secret society who created this Boule Society. In this Gregorian paradigm, each month is named after a Roman or Greek god who represents a perverted way of thinking where a certain demonic principality releases pathogens for sickness and diseases into our environment. And we summon them by saying the name of the calendar month. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, y'all. To evidence this fraud, if sept is 7 and oct is 8, why do these prefixes for those months represent the 9th and the 10th months of the calendar year? Why do you think the news has reports of these SARS and Ebola plagues at various times of the calendar year? Why do you think new television shows come out in the fall? Why do you think the indoctrination farms begin in the fall? It's because Lucifer is referred to as the prince of the power in the air. Another coincidence is that the acronym for the security administration tool for analyzing networks is Satan, meaning he controls the airwaves in this world through music and television. That's why my art is shifting the culture through using their beats, but my words. The 13 elite families who are committed to the Agenda 2030 and HR 1666 for controlling the masses and depopulating the world are attacking the RNA and DNA within our cells to manipulate our genes to place us on a big network of a remote control. Their plans are to inject us with these chemicals, those aborted fetus cells, with the brain matter of rats and mice and aborted babies, combined with nanoparticles that will replace our memories and control our emotions remotely. Man, look this up. This New World Order is even seen in the Bulls logo turned upside down. You see the robot effing the cheeks of humanity? Even the fallen angels were infected by Lucifer's tail, so don't take this vaccine. I have the way around it for everybody, just request via DM. This is not a vaccine to rid anybody of anything. Caitlyn Jenner, Kendall Jenner, and Kylie are descendants from the guy Edward Jenner, who in 1700 coined the word vaccine, since he created the first of its kind from dead cow cells. The followers of his work continue to use dead cells to practice medicine to this day. Don't fall for the okie doke. Lucifer, Satan, and the devil are referenced by the numbers 666. Man, watch this though. The outbreak began in Wuhan, China, right? There's no question about that. On a cruise ship, which in my opinion is perfect karma, since cruise ships release their waste into the deep blue sea. But what's also notable about this is that the address 666 Goaxin Avenue in Wuhan is not only the epicenter of this outbreak, but also where the pharmaceutical companies GlaxoSmithKline, Johnson & Johnson, and Novartis AG Group are headquartered. Let me show you how deep this goes within the global governments. We already know that FDA and the CDC are in bed together. So those who share a bed, they'll share secrets as well. There was a Prevail report from 2009 which says the global vaccination pharmaceutical complex has been injecting cancer cells from the early 70s in their vaccines. Another Prevail report from 2018 reports a German company named CureVac is owned by two Americans. Can you guess who? George Soros and Bill Gates. This company is being paid $33 million through grant money from the Gates Foundation from 2011 to create diploid cells through fetal research. Another pharmaceutical company named Moderna received $25 million in so-called grant money from the Gates Foundation, and yet another pharmaceutical company named Inovio received $45 million in 2015 to create a new vaccine through grant money that will genetically modify every RNA and DNA strand through nanotechnology. All these companies are backed by Bill Gates. An interesting side note, from all this research Bill Gates paid people to find, there are now 3,000 diploid cell lines. Anybody want to take a guess on how many species of serpents there are in this world? You guessed it, 3,000 species. But he's also getting help through the very government who claims to help you. DARPA through the Pentagon with IARPA, via the CIA, NSA, and the Office of Naval Intelligence, created synthetic DNA pathogens through vaccinations through that nicotine patch y'all wear, and was developed with hydrogel in it. The same ingredient in these upcoming vaccinations, which through nanotechnology, your body can read to download new memory by removing old emotions from the past. You may think this is good, but not if you're on their remote control. These are the architects of the Matrix being revealed here. Y'all, they're trying to remove your mind, and I'm trying to renew your mind.